Welcome everybody. My name's Melissa and I'm going to show you today how I make my Mobius strip pendant. If you don't know what a Mobius strip is, it's kind of like an infinity loop type of thing where it only has one side and one edge. If you follow this face along, it's never ending. Follow it along here, up and over, around there. See how it just never ends? I think they're pretty cool. So today I'll show you how I made these. I made 2 of them. Let's get started. I grabbed everything I needed for this project. I have my steel block here so I can hammer out my silver, a file so I can get my ends really straight, a hammer, of course. I'm also going to use the tip of it as a mandrel, so to speak. A pair of flush cutters. I grabbed some 14 gauge round fine wire, and I got this from Monster Slayer. I don't want to cut off any more than I need. You'll notice that fine silver is really soft, especially after you torch it. Okay, so I pulled out my wire. I'm going to use my hammer to get an approximate length. Getting a perfect shape is not necessary at this time because we're going to hammer it flat. So I'm just going to cut some off. That size should be a nice size for my pendant. So I'm going to pull it straight. Okay, so for my Mobius pendants, I like to hammer them out straight first. And I'll show you what I do. I do a twist and then I fuse it. But what I like to do is I want like one end of my pendant to be wider than the other side. So in the middle here, I'm going to hammer out a little wider than the ends. But the ends I want to hammer out the exact same size, so when I bring them together they'll be exactly the same size, so they'll fuse together nicely. So let me go ahead and hammer this out. I just wanted to mention that I move slowly back and forth. And then I'll turn it on its side to straighten it out so it's nice and straight. And then I'll turn it back over and move slowly back and forth again. I'll make my twist in the wire, and that will give it its Mobius effect. Let's see, I'm going to need some tools for this. I think it'll be kind of rough on my fingers to do this with my fingers itself. Yeah, so what you do, you give it one full twist. Just like that. At first it'll look all cockeyed and stuff, but once you torch it, it'll become all soft again, and then it'll be a lot easier to sculpt. Yeah, it looks kind of crummy right now, but once it's torched, you can mess with the shape later. The most important thing is getting your ends perfectly smooth and aligned together. That first cut was too much at an angle, so I had to snip again. Okay, my ends look to be the same width and thickness, so it's just a matter of lining them up perfectly so we can fuse them together. So it just takes some pushing and pulling and manipulating, twisting. I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to kind of flatten it out to make it easier to align these edges. I'm also going to file it really quick. Aligning these flat pieces are a bit trickier than the round pieces. Ooh, I think I got something there. Along with the 14 gauge, I also cut off some 12 gauge fine silver wire. It's subtle, but I kind of made it thicker in the middle and thinner out on each end. This one too, I'm going to put the twist in. Try to get these ends closer together so you can start aligning them. How big do I want this pendant? Snip a little bit off each end. I'm pretty close in size and thickness. I'll give it a try. All right, that's pretty close. Let's move on to the next step. Let's grab our torches. Okay, here we are at my stove. I've got my tweezers ready, my torch, my brick, and my little cup of quench, which is just water. I have both my pieces. The joints are both up at 12 o'clock here. Let me shut the lights off and I can get started. Start my torch. Of course, you give nice even heat around the whole piece. Heat it up evenly, and once you see that glow and you see the metal flowing, you stop. right? This one's thicker gauge wire, so it's going to take a little longer. Okay. Joints turned out pretty good on these. Heat it up so they're nice and malleable. Now you can shape them to whatever shape you desire. You can even pull out the twist a little more too. I usually don't hammer these out on, well, I might shape them a little bit, but I usually just tend to make them ovals and just kind of shape them with my fingers. But let me go back to my little studio, if you want to call it that. We'll go from there. Here they are. There's the seam on the one. This is the bigger one. Not too shabby. So I can go through and buff it out with a Dremel, my little Dremel tool, and then polish it up nice to get all those lines out. And it's mostly just getting a nice shape to these. I tend to like the 12 gauge better. But this is the 14 gauge. It's going to be a lot more delicate. Kind of pull on it if you want. I like my Mobiuses, the twists in them to be subtle. See, oh, there's a little twist in there. My nylon jaw pliers here. So with this part, I can spend hours just shaping these pendants to exactly how I want them. I just want it to be fluid. Nice fluid twist with no flat edges. See, it's just a little too flat. Curve that around a little bit. And you can shape your pendant however you like it, but I just like nice and subtle flow. There's a kink in there. Gotta smooth that out. These guys shine up really nice too. And being that it's pure silver, they don't tarnish very easy either. Like anything you do with the wire, it's all subtle adjustments. Going through and making adjustments, going back, making more adjustments. I just go around and around, do subtle changes until I like it. It's getting there. And I wanted to make an example with a thinner wire, but not sure I like the thinner wire. So let me go work on these. I'll be back. Just hang tight. Okay, I think I'm done shaping. Look how pretty they look. I haven't even polished them yet. So, you know what I found that helped out is I found some rounded wooden tools, or wooden handle tools, and these edges I would find a nice rounded edge and I just kind of pound it with my rawhide mallet. Any of those edges that were too harsh, you know. So I made, this is 14 gauge, or no, this is 12 gauge, this is 14 gauge. So next all I want to do is polish out those imperfections and shine them up. So I'm using this polishing kit here from Rio Grande. I need to go a little bit coarser so I can smooth out these scratches here. I'm actually going to go up to the coarsest of all. This job done. After I buffed these out with the Dremel and got all the little hammer marks and stuff, or most of them, most of the hammer marks out, I quick put these in the tumbler and forgot about them for about 3 hours. And this is how they came out. So I think they still need a little bit more shaping. So what I do is I take my nylon job pliers and I just go around and gently shape them until there's no annoying kinks or anything in there. You can just do this until you're satisfied with your results. All that good, just for time's sake. Go on to this one. This one's smaller, so yeah, you'd be extra careful with the pressure I'm putting on it. Gently move your twist around with this technique too. I think that looks pretty good too. I'm gonna try to shine them up a little bit. So as you can probably tell, I could spend hours on these, perfecting them, but for good old time's sake, I'll quit here. You get the gist of it. They're pretty much good to go. I can polish them forever, I think. So there you go, Mobius Strip Pendant. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful, easy to follow. I hope you guys make your own Mobius pendants. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.